I'm not in the right mind to even talk about Golden State. It's too stressful, and I'm not stressed right now. I'm very happy about our accomplishment. I have no discussion. Golden State they've been the best team in our league for the last 3 years, and then they added an MVP. That's all I can give you right now because I'm happy, and I don't want to be stressed.
Okay, first again, Tristan Thompson is amazing. Second of all, LeBron clearly has time, right? Mm-hmm. The finals don't start for a week. But it's interesting, Ramona, because first of all, welcome, Ramona Shelburne.
Hey.
You're just so part of the conversation. I didn't even introduce you. Ramona Shelburne has joined us. That it was interesting to me, especially to bring you in for this, because I typed out those comments when he was saying the presser, and I put them out on Twitter. The number of people in the Bay Area who pounced on them right away was striking. What did you think when you heard him say that?
I think he's not stressed at all. I don't think he's worried about the Warriors at all, man. Like, they beat them last year. They came back from 3-1 down, and they figured them out. I think
you think LeBron, this is a rope-a-dope?
No. I wouldn't say a rope-a-dope. I think that they feel like they can beat the Warriors. Like, they have a confidence about it. You saw how they were acting on stage? Mm-hmm. They won last year.
So wait, so you think that he was setting them up, though, in some way?
I think he's saying, I'm going to enjoy this moment here, but, I'm going to...
He said he's stressed.
I don't believe him at all.
I think what he means is, getting ready for this team and going through this 7-game series against a top team like this will be stressful. I mean, it has to be because of, what they throw at you night in and night out, the adjustments you have to make, the moves that, you got to guard out on the offensive end with these guys. Yes, that is stressful.
I thought it was very honest.
Yeah, he didn't want to talk about the Warriors in their moment.
Right.
That's what it was.
Right.
I mean, he used the word stressful, but he didn't want to have nothing to do with a Warriors conversation in that moment.
That it should be about what he did.
You play the Lakers, right? You guys beat the Lakers one year. And then the next time you play them again, were you stressed?
Well, the whole playoffs are stressful, period.
Yeah. Right.
You go through up and down emotions. You win one game, you're up. You lose another game, you're down, you're emotionally stressed. I mean, that's just what the playoffs is. That's what sports does to you. It affects not only you, it affects the people around you. And he's been going through stressful situations for the last 7 straight years of being in the finals. So it can get stressful just being in those moments because of the highs and the lows you get from playing and winning and losing.
Well, it's interesting. He might not want to be thinking about the Warriors yet, and he certainly was entitled to have his moment last night without them. But the Warriors are thinking about him.
Yeah.
It's funny. They played this on TNT last night. It's that Draymond soundbite from the beginning of the year. I mean, look, it's amazing. Take a listen to Draymond first.
If Cleveland comes out of the East, I want to destroy Cleveland. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. But I also know that there are steps to get to that point. And if and when we get to that point, I want to annihilate them.
I want to annihilate them. Klay Thompson backed that up just this week, telling our friend Tim Bontemps at the Washington Post, quote, "We were so close last year, a game away. I would be lying to you if I didn't say I think about it all the time. I'm a competitive guy. I think that's what fueled a lot of us to stay consistent this year, is to get back to playing in June." And in that article, he makes it clear to get back to playing the Cavaliers in June. And frankly, we saw the Cavaliers do it the year before against the Warriors. I mean, Paul, does the revenge factor, can it help you or hurt you if you're a little too focused on it?
No, I think they're motivated. I mean, look what they left behind last year. They left behind a 73-win season and a 3-1 lead and a championship trophy.
Wait a minute, they gave up a 3-1 lead?
They gave. This is what they left behind. They're on a mission, and I see it in Steph. I see it in KD. I see it in all of them. I see it in Draymond. These guys are on a mission this year, and they want it. They want it.
They're motivated.
Can it get too upset? Can you obsess over it too much?
No, let me say this. I like that they have this mentality. I remember being on that Spurs team when they lost the Ray Allen shot, and Tim Duncan came out and said, "We want to face these guys again." Like, I love that competitive spirit in these guys, and let's see if they can get it done.
Well, I go back to something Steve Kerr said to me at the beginning of the year and I said, were you ever worried about adding Kevin Durant to the team? I know he's really good, but you won 73 games last year. And Steve says, I've been on teams like this before. Like, we forget that he played with the Bulls and the Spurs when they were part of a dynasty. And he goes, the third year, getting back is always hard because something has to change. Like, if something doesn't change and you have the same team doing the same thing, it gets to be a slog. right? It gets to you that you don't have that same hunger. And I've seen teams go through it where, like, that fourth year, people start to drift a little bit. The third, fourth year, it's like, so adding Kevin into the mix there is giving them something to work on. Then you add that to the revenge factor that they've had all year long. It keeps you engaged all year.
Well, you guys both mentioned two recent examples of this with the Lakers and Celtics, with the Spurs and the Heat. Both times, the revenge-seeking team did indeed go on to win. So we'll have to see what happens here. I don't want to forget about the owners because they just all keep talking. On the Warriors side, Joe Lacob said that Golden State was the better team last year, you know, even though they didn't win, and normally winning is what makes you the better. Anyway, last night, Cavs owner Dan Gilbert had this to say about last year. Take a look.
I just think we should keep our finished business finished. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I think about, and I think about how these guys deserved it and how they're going to deserve it again. And, you know, it's going to be a war. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah, some herbs.
Right?
I didn't know Dan Gilbert was capable of staying on message like this. Like, is Joe Lacob,
I've
you
never
would
seen
say?
him that calm. I've never seen him that
Me
calm.
neither, right? Like, what was in the champagne?
He always looked high-strung off coffee or something.
Yeah, he was like, that's
not the
exactly
man
what
who
you
wrote
should
the
say.
Comic Sans letter? Is that what you're saying?
No, like
you're saying that's different. You've spent a lot of time with Dan Gilbert. You did
Yeah,
a
I
big
guess so.
magazine story on him. That was more reserved.
I didn't think he was capable of that, honestly. Because Joe Lacob's the same way. Like, he always puts it out there. Even though he's trying not to make a headline, he does. Like, he was trying to say, you know, we don't care who we play, but I'd rather play the Cavs, right? Like, Dan was on message there. That was exactly what the owner who was trying not to make waves and become a distraction for his team should say. I'm sort of proud of him. I didn't know he was capable of that.
War of words with owners now.
I'm
Man,
not touching
we got
that
the owners, we got the players, we got the coaches.
City mayors.
Right, exactly. There's a little shade there, though. Let's not, and I give him credit for this. He was like, let's keep our finished business finished, meaning we won. Let's not reopen that. I don't know. Time to bring you our value player, brought to you by Carfax. A lot of people are, in fact, picking the Warriors to win the finals because of the addition of Kevin Durant. 28 points, 7 rebounds a game in the Western Conference Finals. But I want to show you what he told The Vertical. Quote, "It wouldn't mean my life was complete." He's talking about winning a championship. "I've got a lot of life I want to lead. I've got a lot I want to achieve. At the end of the day, it's going to be another basketball milestone that I reach if it happens. We'll see. But if I don't do it, I'm not going to ball up in my room and not come out." How do we feel about this?
Well, let me say this. There's one thing I regret in my career is not being able to experience what this man right here experienced, and that's holding up that trophy, going through that parade. Like, I regret not having experience in that in my career. However, yes, I separate. That's not. I'm a basketball player. Off the court, I am a father, right? So I hope people don't, get it confused that we are, other people off the basketball court. This is our career.
You're allowed to have other priorities.
Yes, we are. So I'm glad he put it in perspective, but I actually regret not being able to experience that.
He wants to experience it. He went to the Warriors for that reason. He wants to win. Regardless of what he's saying, he wants to win it. I'm not buying it.
No.
Why don't you stay in OKC? You went to Golden State to win a championship.
Yep.
Period. You would have. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about that Oakland was a better city, it had better weather. It wasn't about that. You went there specifically to try to win a championship. So I'm not buying what he said.
Okay, I hear what Tracy was saying, though, where you're a father and you have other pursuits outside of life. People forget about Kevin Durant. He's still figuring things out. Like, this whole year, we've talked about this pretty openly. It's like, he's like a college kid. Like, he's like with a Eurail pass. Like, he just wants to try a bunch of different things. He wants to do a bunch of different things in his life. Like, I said he said he wants to go surfing with Bruce Frazier in summer. He's like, get a hop in the VW bus and go down to Mexico with him. That's kind of where Kevin is in his life.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of what he's talking. He's doing his YouTube series.
True.
He's doing Silicon Valley stuff. I think that's what he's referring to. But the way he said it, it's what you're speaking to, Paul. It's like he went there to win.
Yeah, but what you can't do is try to dilute down the scrutiny that it comes if you don't win it. And that's what I think he's trying to do.
So this is like you think it's preemptive.
Yeah.
It's like LeBron's not stressed.
Right, exactly. LeBron's not stressed. Kevin doesn't care. Well, so you think LeBron's not stressed, even though he's saying he's stressed. Yeah. You think that even though Kevin's saying it doesn't matter as much to him as maybe we're all projecting, maybe it matters as much.
Like ventriloquism.
It's not like, we're not gonna say you're gonna go into a funk, but you want to win.
Absolutely. That's why we play.
If you don't win, you're like, all right, life goes on. Sure, okay, it does go on, but you want to win at the end of the day.
And the truth is, both things can be true. It can be really, really important to you and not the most important thing to you. Both things can be the case. We have a lot more to come here on The Jump. Ramona is coming back. Paul is coming back. T-Mac